My shirt makes a lot of sound. Okay. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here today. Today's video is gonna be a fun one. I just really wanted to sit down and play with some drugstore makeup that I've been trying out. A couple things that I haven't tried, just some newish stuff that I'm currently, testing out, gathering my thoughts on. Before we get into it, please do make sure that if you have not yet, that you subscribe to my channel and also ring the bell so that you can be notified when I upload on Fridays. Make sure that you also are following me on social medias if you feel like it. My hand will be popping up right here below me if you feel the need to see more of me, and you can follow me there. Alrighty, let's keep this short and go ahead and get on into it. All right, let's start with the eyes. I've been enjoying doing that lately, so let's do that. I'm gonna prime my eyeballs with my E.L.F. Poreless Putty. No, it's just called the Putty Eye Primer. That's what it's called. And they have shades in this. I have this skin tone shade. I originally picked up the white shade, which was not what I intended, obviously, but they have several shades. For the eyeballs today, I'm gonna be using this palette right here. The E.L.F. collabed with Jen Atkin. If you don't know who that is, she owns the hair brand Way, which I use in my hair every day. It's like my favorite shampoo and conditioner. So I was really excited when I saw this collection because it's just very aesthetically pleasing. But I actually have several of the products from that collab that I'm gonna be using today in the video. So you'll see more of that as we go along. But this was what I was most excited about. She came out with two palettes. They're the same palette, but there's this one, which is, they're both called the same thing. It doesn't even say on the back. They're both called the same thing, but this one's like a light to medium and the other one is medium to deep. But it's literally the same thing, but just deeper, pretty much. And I was just really excited because of these eyeshadow colors mainly. I was like, ooh, that and that and that. Let me put that on my eyeballs immediately. That just looks like a yes for me. And this isn't, I really like this color as well. It's not black. It is a very, very deep, cool toned brown. So nice for eyeliner, to use for eyeliner just on a brush. And then you have bronzer, blush, and highlighter in it. I really don't personally love these colors for blush. It's a very pinky peach shade. It's fine, not my cup of tea. Other thing is the highlighter in this is quite deep. It's currently too deep for me. See, you can see how it casts a shadow on my skin. So I couldn't use that as a highlighter. I could use it on the eyes, but I think that also later in the summer as I get tanner, that will work for me. I was really excited about the eyeshadows in this because you guys know my deep, deep love for the E.L.F. Bite Size palettes. So we're gonna start with that on the eyeballs. And obviously there's no necessarily eye shimmer in this, but I did bring out, I don't know if I'm gonna use these or not, but these are the new Milani Gilded Shadow Sticks. She came out with 4 of them. I picked up 2, obviously the neutral ones. I would definitely like to see more shades in this because it was just for a specific collection, but maybe I'll use that as the shimmer on my lid. When we get there, I'll talk more about that. But let's just start, and I'll go ahead and tell you, I've been using this like a lot actually. I just now put down the skin tone shade here in the, just now put that shade down on my lid. I'm just kind of spreading that around. But so the thing I love about this, I've done 2 or 3 different looks with this already. The thing that I like is, so you have this really, really beautiful warm tone medium shadow here that's really, really nice. Oh, love it. But then you have this really cool toned grayish, gray brown kind of color. And so if you wanted to go the cool tone route, what I did is I actually just used the bronzer to be kind of a transition from the skin tone shade to this shade here. Now you could definitely mix between the skin tone shade and the grayish to get a transition, but I quite liked using the bronzer as a transition because it's not as warm, it's more neutral, obviously, than that super warm tone shade. I think that's what I'm gonna do again today because I just really liked it, but I will just tell you, this shade right here, this is the warm, rusty kind of shade. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. And actually, I did do a look where I used all 4 of the eyeshadow shades together. So even putting these 2 together was really, really nice. It gave you a lot of dimension, and it was a really, really, really beautiful, like smoky brown eye. Oh, so nice. Like I said, I'm gonna go into the bronzer to start to transition to that cool tone brown. I think it's a really, really nice transition because, like I said, it's neutral. It's not too warm, it's not too cool. So really you could use this as a transition for, even if you just wanted to use the warm tone shadow in there, you could use this as well for a transition because it is pretty neutral. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dip back and forth between the bronzer and this cool tone shade right here. Just dipping back and forth. Oh, so nice. This kind of cool tone shade here, like, just really adds such a pretty contour type effect to your eyelids. You see, it's making it look, there's so much more depth to my eyelid already. So much more defined. Oh, so nice. This is like one of my current favorite kinds of shades I'm looking for, is like that cool tone brownish, but it's not too gray. Okay, now I'm gonna take a more precise fluffy brush and I'm gonna go just into the shade. We're just gonna slowly start deepening my crease with it. Start low so that you don't take it too high too quickly, so that we deposit the most amount of the pigment down near my lash line, and take whatever's left on the brush a little bit further up. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start deepening it up, and we'll just, you know, take it in stages, deepen it a little bit, see how we feel about it. So I'm gonna take this Real Techniques liner brush, and I'm gonna stamp it into that shadow, and I'm just gonna start adding this to the lash line. Now, I brought it up a bit just to kind of lift my eye. You can see what that's doing with this eye compared to the eye without any. How it lifts my eye there. I think I'm happy with that. I think I wanna leave it there. Just very subtle definition, very subtle lifting effect we're doing here. Yeah, I like that. Okay, now for the lid shade. I am gonna go in with this that doesn't have a shade name on it on here. So frustrating. It's a very subtle shimmer. It's not like some crazy high metallic kind of look. So I'm just drawing it on. The thing I like about shadow sticks is you can be really precise about where you want them. What I'm doing is I'm just taking my finger and tapping it over, doing my tap and drag situation so that I can just blend it. And I'm happy with that. I think that's what I want to leave it at. That's really nice. Now I'm just gonna make sure the edges of where I placed that shimmer are blended by going back in with the matte shades around the perimeter. I'll go ahead and start with layer mascara. I'm not using a new mascara necessarily. I haven't tried any new mascaras from the drugstore super recently. Just using my L'Oreal Unlimited mascara, my little bendy friend. I'm gonna go ahead and throw my tinted brow gel in my brows. I actually have been trying a new one here. This is the NYX Tinted Brow Mascara. I have the shade Blonde. I will say the, what are these things called? The, whatever, the thing at the end that prevents from a ton of product just coming out. The stopper thing? Yeah, the stopper thing. It pulls off a ton of products, so you really are not left with a lot of product on the spoolie here. And it's very, very lightly colored, which I obviously did on purpose because my brows are so light. But I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. I don't know. Alrighty, let us continue on to the complexion section. I'm gonna spray my face real quick before we go into foundation, but I'll go ahead and tell you what it is. This is from the E.L.F. and Jen Atkin collab. It's just called the Mist Me Mist. It's got a really nice fine mist, and it smells like coconut. For foundation, this is not new. It is new to me. This is the L'Oreal TrueMatch Lumi Healthy Luminous Makeup. It says it also has sunscreen, broad spectrum SPF 20. I was also curious because I've really been liking the new L'Oreal TrueMatch concealers that came out not too long ago. And by not too long ago, I mean several months ago. Oh, and by the way, I have the shade N1 to 2 in soft ivory / classic ivory. It's weird the way they say that, but okay. And I'm gonna start by just lightly feathering this onto my skin. I don't know what kind of level of coverage this is supposed to be. I think maybe like a medium-ish. It's very, very spreadable. So you could do like a light coverage for sure with this, which is what I'm gonna do initially all over the skin, is a light coverage, and then I'll build up in the places that I need to. You guys know the drill. You know what? This is quite a natural finish foundation. I think I'm gonna like this a lot for the summer because it's not so like wet and dewy. Hey, this is for all you guys who don't wanna be like wet and dewy the way that I do. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't wanna be. I'm just kidding, I get it. But I think this would probably be good for you if you just wanna be like a normal level of luminous. Yeah, that's a nice light medium coverage right there. I remembered that I don't think I had mentioned this to you guys on my channel yet, and I'm so sorry. If you've been here for a minute, you know my love and my grief over the Becca under eye corrector. May she rest in peace. Becca is leaving us, and so I'm just out here looking for a comparable product, and Ulta Beauty, their home brand, decided to basically create the exact same product. So this is called their Eye Brightener, and it comes in a stick form. As you can see, it's this little stick just like this, and it comes in 2 shades, the same shades that the Becca corrector came in, which I wish they would have expanded more. So if you want a more extensive shade range, I'd go with the Milani under eye corrector that I've showed you guys before. But this, I quite like the fact that it's in a stick because it's a very small stick, and I can actually just use that to apply this, which is kind of nice. It is a bit thinner in texture, but it's just as emollient, and it's also dewy, which is something I don't think the Milani was quite as dewy or as emollient as the Becca, but this one is. So that's great. I'm excited about that. For my concealer, what kind of, as I said, made me interested in picking up that foundation was the TrueMatch Eye Cream in a Concealer. This says it has 0.5% of pure hyaluronic. It says it has 0.5% of pure hyaluronic acid in it. I have 2 shades. I have the shades C1 through 2 and N1 through 2. C1 through 2 is the cool toned one, obviously. It's also a little bit lighter than the neutral shade. So the neutral shade is definitely gonna be my shade moving into summer / more now. But the cool tone, the C1 through 2 was definitely my winter shade. So I'm actually gonna mix them a little bit. This is very, very thin, so I think it would look really nice on mature skin types because of how thin it is. It won't, you know, sink into those fine lines. It's not super thick and emollient. But I'm just gonna do a very thin layer like that and press it in with my sponge. Very natural finish, not necessarily matte or dewy either way. It's very natural in finish, has a nice amount of coverage. I wouldn't call it super full coverage, but I think it's a very wearable amount of coverage for every day. Now I will say this foundation looks very radiant, but I will say it doesn't feel super hydrating. It's not like really dewy. So if that's something you're looking for, this base is looking really, really nice. I want to add some hydration. I'm gonna spray my face. Now, moving on to bronzer. I have been on a journey to find cream bronzers at the drugstore or with drugstore pricing. As you guys know, I've not been super successful. I've only found mainly the E.L.F. Cream contour palette I really like. I know for a fact, and I know for a fact, this is fact, it's true. I know that a lot of makeup artists and other people use just a deeper color of foundation now or concealer as a cream contour or bronzer shade for them. But personally, I don't love to do that usually because I don't love for my cream bronzers to have like a ton of coverage. I want them to look like a very natural shadow. I don't want it to be so much coverage, and then it leads to being a lot of product caked on. But what I have been doing is finding really, really light coverage, sheer type foundation complexion products and using that for a cream bronzer. And I found two that I really like. They're both from the same brand. They're both from Neutrogena. Now, this is the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Hydrating Tint. So it is a skin tint. So you're not really getting hardly any coverage with this. And I had thought about this because I actually love this product in general for my face. I have my regular shade in it for like a skin tint in the summertime, and I love it. Long time favorite of mine. And also recently have been trying this out, the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Hydrating Foundation Stick. Now, this is a really, really sheer coverage foundation stick. So I thought, let's try that out. And I actually have them both in the same shade, 115 Cocoa. If you're looking for a really nice cream bronzer at the drugstore, I definitely think these are really great options because they are so light coverage and they have a really nice, they have some really nice deep shades for you to pick from if you are on the light to medium scale. Unfortunately, there's not a ton of options for deeper skin tones that I know of right now, but I am on the search and will continue to search high and low. But just pick a couple shades deeper than your skin tone. Make sure it's not too warm, too cool, whatever you're needing it to be. This is quite neutral of a tone, and I really, really like it. I feel like the stick is very obvious and easy to use, so I'll use this today because I feel like that might be more intimidating. But the reason it's not is because this comes out on a doe foot, number one. And number two, it's not a very liquidy formula. It's actually quite light and moussey, and it blends out really, really easy. So I will just draw some of it on my face. And this is actually a really great shade for me in general to use as like a bronzer kind of shade to add also some shadow to my face. I'm just gonna blend it out. And do you see how sheer it is? It's not like giving me crazy amount of pigment and coverage there. Okay, I'm really happy with that. It looks so nice as a cream bronzer. I was so thrilled when I thought of this idea and then tried it out, and I was so pleased. It just looks so seamless, really, really nice. Let's zoom in. We're gonna do the lower lash line of eyeshadow, and then we'll do the brows. So back into the palette here. You guys know the drill. I'm gonna use literally just the bronzer shade and a little bit of this shade. I'm gonna start out by just going into the bronzer on a fluffier brush and blending that, my lower lash line. Now I'm gonna take a really nice and precise pencil brush, go in with, okay, I'm going with that deeper cool tone brown there. Okay, let's move into the brows some more. I'm gonna fill them in with not a super new pencil, but the Milani brow pencil, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I've just finished filling in my brows with my pencil there. Now we're gonna go in with clear brow gel. I'm gonna be using this one from the E.L.F. and Jen Atkin collab. It's very interesting. Now this is a new product, I believe, to E.L.F. They don't have anything like this definitely right now, and it has like this weird like toothbrush looking, but they're rubber bristles type of applicator. It's got this nice square packaging. And I actually have not tried this on my brows. So first test here today. Feels like quite a thin formula. The gel itself, I mean. So we'll have to see what kind of hold we get out of this, because sometimes there are those brow gels that leave your brows crunchy, and that's usually a thinner formula. And then the ones that are kind of like the super hold that I love right now tend to be a bit thicker. Giving me a nice feathery look right now. Real question is how it's gonna dry. So let's zoom it back out, finish up this face. I do have one highlighter I'm gonna use. I picked this up obviously when I was picking up this Neutrogena stick recently. This is the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Illuminator. So it is a highlighter stick. It's a really nice gold shade. It's not super dewy and it's not a crazy blinding highlight. You can see it right there. It's just a nice gold sheen. Now I am just gonna kind of I'm not like pressing in and dragging a lot. I'm just very lightly, you can see I'm barely moving my skin, placing it. And then I blend it out. It's quite a creamy formula, so it's really easy to blend out. And it gives you a very natural highlight, so I like that. Okay, blush. Now this is an interesting category. I have two new to me, I'm not sure exactly how new one of them is, blushes from NYX. I have a few shades in each. So first we have the Sweet Cheeks Soft Cheek Tint, and it's called a Blush Mousse. So we have those, which is obviously matte finish. And then we have the Bare With Me Luminous Cheek Serum. It's obviously a serum blush. Now I'm gonna swatch and kind of compare these two formulas. I have been trying both of them out, so I do have thoughts. So this right here is the shade Nude Tude in the Sweet Cheeks Mousse. The applicator, which is cool, is a doe foot with a really pointy end. So you can actually just draw this directly on the face, which is what I have been doing, which I quite like, that application process. The other one is those little pointy tips. So there's that one, and it comes out looking quite thick. So let me spread it out there. Okay, so here are the two. Now, as you can see, as I blend these out, one, you know, they both turn out to be quite sheer in like pigmentation wise, but the big difference is this one is a gel and this one is a mousse. I definitely would not call this a serum. You guys know that I love the M Cosmetics serum blushes, and those are definitely serum-like. This is not a serum, this is a gel. And I was really excited because these sound right up my alley, but unfortunately I don't think I like these. I don't even want to apply it because I think it's gonna ruin my makeup. I have found them to pick up my foundation underneath. These are all three shades that they have, by the way. They're just three in this range here. This is Sienna Bronze, Tan Bronze, and Peach Bronze. So obviously meant to be bronzy, summery kind of vibes. Let me zoom in a little bit. These are very beginner friendly is what I would say. They're really, really, really easy to use and really gorgeous. These come in a ton of shades, so I only have 3 of them here. So I'll swatch the shades that I have for you. Almost Famous is that orange one. The middle one is Nude Tude, as I already mentioned. And this one over here on the other end is called Coralicious. Now these are so nice and they look very creamy when I first swatch them, but as you blend them out, as you can see, they start to turn more matte and sheer out. I'm kind of feeling like maybe I'll mix these two, I don't know. Because you can just literally draw them in dots like this on the face. And these blend out beautifully with a brush and with your fingers. And I don't know, I haven't tried a sponge just cause these are like a matte finish. I don't know that I would try that personally. Maybe I'll mix all 3, honestly. We're just having fun here today. Add some warmth to that. Yeah, let's see how that turns out. And I'm gonna just blend these out with my brush. Now what I like about these is they do give that soft matte finish, but as you can see, they don't look crazy matte on my face. They just have that soft matte blurring effect, really. In conclusion, for blush, NYX has come out with some cream blushes recently, and I like some of them, and others I don't like. This brow has definitely fallen. This one hasn't. Huh. Very interesting. I'm unsure about this brow gel. There's a few things here that I'm unsure about today so far, it seems. Last thing is lips. Now this is the last product from the Jen Atkin E.L.F. collab. These don't have a name of like the actual product, but these are basically a dual-ended lip product. This end is a lip liner and this end is a matte lipstick. She came out with 3 shades, and I actually want to pick up the other ones because, spoiler alert, this is really good. This is a nice formula. But I picked up the shade Bring It On Brown. She also came out with like a nude pink and a like fiery orangey red that's really pretty. Mia, go ahead and apply the lip liner. Oh, there's Michael. Baby?
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 Oh, hello? I found the third orange that was supposed to be in my Kroger order.
In your car?
In my car. Behind, it was like underneath the last row seating. So it must have just fallen back there.
Gross.
Yeah. Been in a hot car. It's kind of gross.
Okay, so I've applied the lip liner and I look super weird right now. So what I think is really cool about this is here is the lipstick shade. As you can see, the lip liner is a bit deeper and more cool toned. As you can see on my lips, I look really weird right now, but it's a nice cool tone shade, so it's gonna add some contour to your lips, which makes for an even better lip look, in my opinion. And these are both matte finishes, and they last really well on the lips, actually. I've been quite impressed. Now that is a really nice nude lip. Really nice warm nude lip. I definitely am super interested in picking up another shade of this. They're really, really nice. Very matte. But personally, y'all know I'm about that gloss, so I'm gonna add a gloss to it. Now these are also new from NYX. These are called the This Is Milky Gloss. And I like this gloss a lot, actually. This is the shade Milk and Honey. And it's very, very sheer. You can see there's a bit of pigment there, but it's mainly really sheer. And it actually says on the site, when you're looking at the individual shades on NYX and on Ulta, if it's a sheer color or if it's a fuller pigment color. And it is different in each of the glosses. The level of pigmentation, I mean. I explained that really weirdly, but you probably get what I'm saying. If you don't, ask me a question, I don't know. But this one is really sheer, and I do have another shade that is more full pigment. I like this gloss a lot in the way that it looks. Let me show you the way it looks. Really, really shiny, really, really comfortable. Not like sticky or anything. It's very gel kind of consistency. The only issue I have with these are the shades are really weird. Very strange shade range. I wish there was more regular nudes. This is probably the most normal nude that you could find. So it's kind of strange. Yeah, so that's everything that I have for you today. I just really wanted to sit down and play with some of the new drugstore products that I've been testing out or eager to test out. And I definitely will continue to test these and, you know, let you know my continued thoughts. We've had some really, really high successes in this video and some less great products in this video. I haven't worn this base before, the foundation specifically, so I will, you know, continue to wear it and let you know. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if there are any drugstore products that you have had your eye on that you would like to hear my thoughts on or see me try. I am definitely down to try more drugstore products. I am really, really into finding nice, comparable, really high-performing drugstore products that I can recommend for you guys that you can rely on and that can become your everyday favorites. And with that, I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for being here. Bye!